Alright, this is working back in Star Trek Online. Some folks wanted me to look at this energy torpedo. Just got this bad boy over here, so I figured I'd just record this thing and let's see what's up. Alright, so I'm in sector space. Sorry, not sector space, in DS9 space here, as you can see. With the nice little wormhole sitting over here in the background. Cool. Let me get away a little bit from the starting area here so I won't have a bunch of people just warping in like random. Get a nice little shot here. DS9 on the drop, wormhole over there. Let's look at some numbers. Something I noticed here with this, more details. Starship weapon training, improve all weapon damage. Starship projectile weapon training, improves kinetic weapon damage. Based off of what I'm reading from the actual trait itself. Oh, sorry, the training for the captain skills. This is just text that needs to be updated. Projectile is supposed to be covering anything that's classified as projectile versus torpedo, which is typically kinetic. Projectiles allegedly are affecting the energy weapon torpedoes. Now, here's the kicker. If this is supposed to be accurate, one, where's the Starship weapon training coming from? Is that a holdover from the legacy system, or is that supposed to be the combination of these two here, or some other unseen attribute that's stuck to your captain sheet? Now, you see the energy weapon training. Talk about directed energy weapons. Projectile weapon training, we'll talk about most mine and torpedo weapons. So STO is a bit cryptic about how they classify projectiles and torpedoes. Typically, anything that boosts torpedo damage, like say for example the Rule 62 here is saying that I can buff mine and torpedo damage, will only affect kinetic weapons and not the energy weapons. Blah blah blah, reading, blah blah blah, description, blah blah blah. So you can see this here, pause it, slow it down as you need to. All this fun stuff here. Mine and torpedo damage, and this will only do torpedoes for, say for example, if I have neutronic right now with all of these plus torpedo consoles here. Neutronic is reading as 24.8, quantum phase at 20, Delphic at 21, 21.8, and Terran at 16.8. So if I bump off a console, we should see this is a Cat 1 console. We're still at Mark 14. Dotting plus 32.8% torpedo weapon damage as a Cat 1 boost. So if I drop that down, we'll probably see this at like 23 and a couple others there. Yep, 23.8, 19.3, 29, and 16.1. So that's what we expect out of that. If I stuff a Rule 62 here, this will boost it accordingly. Cat 1 again, slightly less than what we see from this here, because we have what, 24, 24.45, 19.7, 21.485, and 16.547. This should be a slight boost up. Yep, back to the same numbers we saw earlier. Now, if I slap on an energy torp here, say to replace the Terran. So let me drop the Terran and let me find an energy torp here that I know is the phaser one. Here we go. The phaser one here should show up 10, 9, yeah, 10,000 pretty much. So add our plus torpedo here. Still stays the same. Even though it's this plus torpedo, only boost the kinetic. Right? Supposed to? Alright, well. In this case, torpedo equals kinetic. Now, rule 62 here again. Torpedo. 10-4-5-3. What gives? Why is the torpedo damage here boosting this but this isn't boosting the energy ones? Well, here's another example of all this fun stuff here, because those all get boosted. And oh, sorry, I'm getting spammed now. This here says it boosts projectile damage. So plus 25% Cat 1 projectile damage. So we'll see that boosted 9, 6, 23, 18, 23, 20.3, and the 23 one, right. So see this go up a bit, as we expected to do. Yep, and yep, right. So you see that Cat 1, 25% projectile damage increases this. Alright, so let's swap this out for, let me move my other torps down here so I know where the heck they are, because the loadout system sometimes freaks out. Everybody's favorite original crystalline energy torpedo. So we're seeing this right now, 10-2-1-4. Rule 62 coming in. 10-5-9-8-7. But this is torpedo. Plus torpedo exploiter. 10-2-1-4-9. Yank it out. Same thing. Same thing. This here. Projectile. Drop it in. We do see a boost. Get that. Just pop it in here just to make sure nothing crazy is going on. Same thing. Now, we look at the details on this. Starship weapon training, all energy weapon damage, projectile weapon training, kinetic weapon damage. Look at the phaser one. All energy weapon damage, oh sorry, all weapon damage and kinetic weapon damage. Now, if we go to the Nausicaan, hello, I just undid you right here. What gives? If we go to the Nausicaan, Delphic, and this goes back here. The Nausicaan one, 10-8-7-9. So if we add this bad boy here, no matter where, we see it go up appropriately. Swap it with this. 11-2. See that? Take it away. It goes down. 10-8-7-9. This goes up. 11-2-8-6. This should be more. 11-3-9-6. Right. Now if we replace it with this. Hello. 10-8-7-9. Nothing there. Alright, making sure my eyes do not deceive me. Still there. More details. We see this being buffed by weapon training, all weapon damage, projectile weapon training, kinetic weapon, typo, whatever. Energy weapon training improves energy weapon damage. So the Nausicaan one is actually being boosted by the skill, or at least according to the tooltip it is. the energy weapon training skill. So it's getting this and love from this as well. Whether the others are missing it, it's just a tooltip error, or if it's... Wow. If, sorry, I'm trying to do 4 things at once here. I see what's going on here now. Sorry, something different I'm working on here. Alright, sorry about that. Fix the problem. Let's get back to this. So, Nausicaan has a tooltip saying that's dipping into the energy weapon training as well as the projectile weapon training. Now, whether that's actual numbers that are reflected within the damage of the Torp or not, unknown. At least for the time being. And by the way, the tooltip on this says it's a Polaron Energy Torpedo. But now it's saying it's Proton Energy Torpedo here in the tooltip. Just a tooltip thing there. This one again, projectile and all weapon damage. Kinetic weapon, all weapon damage, whatever. Tooltips need to be fixed on some things here. And is the Nausicaan actually double dipping? Or not double dipping, but necessarily being boosted by something that the others aren't? Or is this just some sort of typo here? Or a link into the captain's skill tree for that? We don't know. Don't know yet. Let's see what the Tetrion Torpedo says here. Nope, same thing with those. So, with that said, who knows? But Rule 62, even though it is boosting torpedo damage, and typically you don't see torpedo consoles boosting your energy weapon ones, is boosting it. Is there another torpedo only thing that's here? 2-piece adapted Mako. Supposed to be plus torpedo damage. So, let's see what this does here. Yep, plus 25 torpedo damage. So, if we have the adapted Mako here, we have our values for this. If we drop the shield, for example, do we see the numbers go down? They do. So, all torpedo and projectile buffs from gear, except for the tech consoles, boost the energy torpedoes. Based on what I'm seeing here so far. Do I have anything else here that will do just plus torpedo or projectile? No. This would do... Hello. This should do... No, not this one. This one here, right here. Energy weapon damage and kinetic weapon damage. Alright, so this will be a good boost here to see... Alright, projectile and energy weapon damage here. This will be a good boost to see what it actually does with this. So let's remove the colony deflector. See the numbers. Making sure. Alright, no change. Add counter command deflector. We're supposed to boost the Torp and energy. 983, 1199. Okay. 96, 10879. So this is supposed to be 21.3. Is there anything else that would boost this? No. so first skill's 50, so 100 points. Boosted damage, Mark 1 level, baseline level of 50%. I have to go through J to get the numbers on this one here, or just plug it in. I need to build a spreadsheet and plug this sucker in here. But that should take care of knowing whether the CC deflector actually boosts that only. Alright, let's compare for the magnitude jump. 240985, verify that this... Yep, same both. Slight jump up across the board, right? Now, based off of those numbers, we'll be able to see then whether this is being boosted by energy as well as projectile skill or not, and see if this is also being boosted by energy and projectile or not. So the numbers are there. 10879, one more time just for the folks at home. 1109, right. So we should be able to derive those fun stuff there. And if they want to see the traits, context is for kings, by the way, really good now for all builds. Duelist fervor definitely was a must-have now. Innocuous only if you have threat issues, which I typically do, although I could probably drop this for something else now. Self-modulating fire must-have, especially for Torp boats. Invasion control programming will be triggered off by scramble silencers or anything else that you have there. Good day to die, good for any attack build or attack build. Fleet coordinator, another must-have. Anchored is nice if you're sitting still. Superior projectile training. This is a no-brainer if you're a Torp boat. Get it. You'll notice, though, that I do not have... Where is it? This one. Kinetic precision. And some people say, why don't you have this? 10% projectile shield penetration. Between self-modulating fire and on a different build, I have weapon system synergy. Whenever they cross, this is useless at that point. From here, I can start throwing, you know, other things that would be much more valuable than this. And even when I don't have these things triggered, this plus 10% projectile shield penetration isn't worth it. If it was like maybe 40 or 50%, then yes, it would be worth it. Right now, no. Not worth it anymore. Nowhere near it. So, if you have anything else that you want to, you know, like, even operative would be much more valuable to you than kinetic precision. Pattern recognition, useless unless you're in combat constantly. Same thing with his counterpart. Point blank shot doesn't work because they only made it for energy weapons. Blah, blah, blah. This one, reverb. Very, very good if you're facing a lot of shielded targets. Every once in a while, shields will drop if you're constantly firing torps at it. Great if you're using concentrate firepower on it and just blasting the hell out of it. Torpedo barrage, rich man's toy. Every 30 seconds, you get a free high yield on it. Still, every once in a while, every other patch, it feels like it's bugged out because it'll either fire an extra high yield torpedo when it's not supposed to, or it doesn't. And sometimes it'll trip up a concentrate firepower, preventing you from firing an extra high yield torpedo because reason, whatever. Oh, here we go. Invincible. If you have issues where you're in a pug and nobody's holding thread properly, yes. If not, there are other things you can run. Why do I have all hands on deck here? I typically do not need that. Arrest. This is actually good if you're killing a lot of things quickly and you're waiting for stuff to come back. Like CF. You kill a target with CF2 on it, arrest kicks in, boom, you're good. If you're slaughtering stuff quickly in ISA or HSC, yeah, once every 30 seconds isn't a huge thing. But when you're throwing down some serious firepower, yeah. yeah, this definitely kicks in at a much needed time. And overwhelming force, just because I was testing a photonic shockwave. Even though this is supposed to boost the damage on the charged particle burst and photonic shockwave, control expertise does affect the control time on the knock. The drains I haven't seen yet. And the particle generator for the damage I have not seen yet. The last time I did full testing on it. Oh, let me see. Where's a fun place to be able to knock this thing out with these DOFs? And I will show you the DOFs in a second here. Let me line this bad boy up. So, boom. Put this stuff back. Phaser Torp. Yes, I know I'm a little bit scattered all over the place, but you'll see the method to my madness here shortly. Colony Deflector is good for adding a lot of crit hit and crit D. If I really need to boost my Cat 1 damage, and why would I want to boost my Cat 1 damage significantly? When I'm using a Torp like a Tri-Cobalt Torpedo under High Yield 3, or the Temporal Disruption device, or Temporal, depending on which one you want, under, again, High Yield 3. When I really want to maximize the amount of damage that I can do against a target, this is the bad boy I want to throw down. And this is the other bad boy I want to throw down. Now, they really need to fix the freaking cooldown on Tri-Cobalt mines and Torps, but again, that's another story. We'll get to that later. Load this bad boy up here, and let me get this thing going here. Give me one moment, please, folks. Here we go. Back to the traits. For this testing, let me see. Overwhelming force. Let's just put up arrest. So I really need to do some testing on this here. And the typical fun stuff here. Auxiliary power configuration offense. You must have 1 and 2 for your pure kinetic boats. And we're talking pure in air quotes. As in your primary damage dealers by at least 85%. Are kinetic torpedoes. This is what you want. This is what you need to have. Omega kinetic shearing, even at 10%, is still good. And the torpedo pre-fire sequence must have. Period. End of discussion. The rest here, optional-ish. I would say auxiliary power configuration offense will be your number 3. The rest you can fill in as needed. Alright, so I have all these bad boys here. And I need to go to DOFs roster. I would use the loadouts, but the last time the loadouts have been buggy, all sorts of buggy. And just to show people that I do use the loadout systems a lot, I do. For different STFs or different missions that I want to run, like say a debuffing loadout, I load this. PvP build, I would load something else. Heavy Torps, it should load these bad boys along with what I need for them. HSC is a completely different loadout from Corfez. The Terran CCA one will have my core swap out with a couple other ones here in the Terran 3-piece, etc., etc., etc. Speaking of which, where did my Terran 3-piece go? But since this here, that loaded. Now the question is, will the other ones load? I'm not going to risk it right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4... See, this reverted back to quantum. I needed to go back and save my loadout. Just to note the difference between a complete quantum loadout, Cat 1, exploiters, versus a complete... Why did that disappear when I was only moving this? Really? Come on. should not have disappeared at all. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Note the number, only slightly smaller. Generic torpedo exploiters versus the quantum torpedo exploiters, yes, slightly small. Why? The Terran is still good. Still a very good torpedo to use. And you want to boost its damage because when the target is below, I think it's what, 35% is the, when you see the maximum damage on it. I wonder if it's in the tooltip there. But that's a 200% increase on the damage. You want to boost that a little bit. You need to boost that a little bit. Where is this thing? All weapon damage, kinetic. Alright, so that's that fun stuff there. It doesn't say there, but at 200%. You 200% damage when you see the target below a certain threshold. You want to start prioritizing this torpedo over all others here in this build at around 35%. That's when it starts doing some serious damage. Anyway, back to the overwhelming force test here. I can drop these two and the con officer for... Let me see if I remember this. Crap, what are they? Gravimetric scientists. Let me see. Tactical engineering ops science. Here we go. Let me see. Very rare. Wow. Wow. Some of one is driving me crazy. Wow, that Wascally Wabbit got away with a lot of one is very rare stuff. Wow. Anyway. No. Lachi, no. That's the charge particle burst stuff, which that doesn't trigger off of overwhelming force the last time we test. No. Where the heck is it? That's the aftershock. Gravity well. I could have sworn it was here. Oh, no. This is it. Yeah, the aftershock one. Here we go. So these are the Alachi guys. I was looking at the last one. Here. The photonic shockwave has a 40% chance to trigger a photonic aftershock on each affected target. These aftershocks do not damage the target directly, but damages your enemies that are around the effective targets. So, if this works according to the tooltip, to what's written here, your primary target's shockwave that it releases doesn't damage the target, but all the other targets around it are damaged by that shockwave. And then 40% chance for each one of them to trigger a shockwave off of each target that the initial shockwave hits. So if you have, say, crystalline entity, and the entity has a grav well sitting on it, and all the Tholians are sucked right into the middle of it, use the high yield 3 spam with concentrate firepower right at the entity. You see all these shockwaves bouncing off of all of these Tholians right into the entity. So the initial shockwave comes from the entity, hits, say, 10 Tholians. So 10 Tholians are hit. The entity isn't damaged by the initial shockwave. But now, say all 10 roll the dice, all 10 Tholians that are hit roll the dice, and each one of them trigger a photonic shockwave right back. So forget all the other targets. That's 10 photonic shockwaves that are going to come and damage the entity now with that secondary photonic shockwave proc. Nasty. Forget all the other targets, just the entity alone. That's 10 shockwaves coming right back into it. So let's throw as many of these bad boys as we can on the ship. How about that, huh? Aftershock, you go over here. Aftershock, here. And yeah, this will be funny if somebody can do a aftershock right here. Done. This should be fun. I typically have a CCA build for this, but yeah, I'll just manually do this nonsense. Where is that bloody core? Iconian core. This makes sure that the Tholians don't shut me down constantly. We need a CCE, please, and thank you very much. All right. This 3-piece boost, the kinetic damage, blah, blah, blah. And while we're waiting for that thing to finish queuing, yep, I think I already did a show on that one before. And if not, well, I'll get back to it eventually. I've been busy. So while we're waiting for that queue to pop, let's look at the numbers on this thing here. And 8054.3. Alright, prior to upgrading. We'll get to the upgrade on that in a minute. We got some Tholians to kill. Oh snap, Silentnar. Thank you very much. You don't have to. I'm not asking for money, but hey, appreciate it. No worries. Was not expecting that at all. You know what? We'll just throw it to charity or something. I'll quadruple it. We'll go somewhere with it. Alright, buff, attack, and spread, high yield. Where's my 3-piece? Oh, that's right, it's gone. So we should be seeing shockwaves echoing. Yes, we do. Well. Domino console. I forgot the buff like a baddie because I'm looking at everything else. Terran is being prioritized and somebody stole my concentrate firepower, so yay. Oh, that was fun. Oh wow. I am way out of practice. It actually blasted something. Sent out its own shockwave. No big deal. Alright, so let's see what we have here. Ooh, perfect high yield spam. Right. Let's pick a target. That target looks good. Look at the shockwaves. Where's the shockwaves? I want to see my shockwaves. Come on. Nope. 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 Alright. Ah, correctors. Here we go. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Ah, I need a gravel for some of this dust. Oh well, he's dead. So it looks like the DOFs are not working with this anymore. Because there's a video, and I know I have the video here somewhere in my archives, where we did a CCA, and Zerg was with me on this one, because I remember him explicitly laughing his head off. Where those shockwaves are doing some stupid procs. Ow. Ow. See, that's supposed to hit, and then it's supposed to reverb across a whole bunch of them there, and blah, blah, blah. But who cares? I just want to get in there, park, and shoot something big, see what happens. Oh. All right, for those who I missed on the chat, Captain Jesse. Oh, is that iron bassist? You actually play a bass guitar? If you play a bass guitar, man, you're my best friend. Bass guitarists and drummers, my two best friends, right there. Salaknars has a bunch of Let's Plays, so I guess you should check out his YouTube stream. And I don't know if you're on Twitch, but you can put the link in here, and people will see it. Go for it. All right, where's a cluster of them? Right there. Fine, why not? Why not? Nope, no shockwave. Where can we test this thing out with a decent concentration of it? ISA, I guess. Not now. see what we got here. Oh, Pug's gonna hate me, aren't they? While we're waiting for the proc, aka the Q to pop. In our previous video, we were looking at how this torpedo is about to get upgraded. And see if predictions match reality. So, you're going to see me spend a whole bunch of crap on this. This was there. That's 912. Yeah. Yep. So far, so good. Blah. 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 Collect. That should be going up. 10 to 11. Are we seeing the same thing here? 1019. Yep. 10 to 1125. Okay, here comes the money spend right now. This should be fun. Alright, going to 15. Excuse me. The money spend. Ho! That went up quick. $11.3. Now, is this going to follow? All right. Let me just make sure my eyes do not deceive me here. Read this. 11.307.4 at Mark 15, ultra rare. At Mark 15 epic, 11.112.4. Alright, Tanky and I had a hypothesis and we were napkin mathing this, and it looked like it was missing at least a damage mod, but instead of not applying it, it was subtracting it, you know? Not that we've ever seen a weapon that actually healed your opponent instead of damaging them ever before in STO, right? Right. So, let's see. Right, round 350, take 1, action. This is going to be an expensive upgrade, isn't it? Yes, it is. I'm going to be broke. Oh well. And nope, that's actually turned out cheaper than I thought. So, remember the 11.3 number that we had beforehand? Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you 11.9. Alright, so let's see if it actually behaves. 11.985. Let's see. Tooltip error, blah, blah, blah. Nope. Let's see what happens. Now, with this here, I want to see what the 2 and 3 piece do. It's not showing that yet. But I actually want to see what this thing actually does with the combat logs in it. Why did it move it there? I did not move that there. Sure as heck did not move that there. 2 pieces too good to pass up. But I have the 2 pieces in the back. So we'll slap this thing up here. Call it a day. And these guys I'm going to start crafting more of. Anyway, for everybody out there who's watching this, all 6 of you, I'm sorry. You actually have to watch a boring guy do this stupid stream about torpedoes and STO. But, since you're already here, why don't you either type in, or link, or send me a message in game saying what the heck you've been doing in STO and what would you like to see show up in STO. Because there has actually been some work done on a few things here, like re-rolling mods, for example, is now a thing. We brought that up on the show 2 years ago. It'd be nice if they actually did something like that. Lo and behold, they did. So. Alright, for those who want to know and check out Salaknar's streams, Salaknar 1990 is his Twitch name. I'll put the link in there for him after this ISA, where we're actually test out this energy torpedo, because energy torpedoes. Wow, the leg. Now I wonder if this thing actually drains. Oh no, we're not gonna die today. We are not gonna die today. Alright, I wanted to see its photonic shockwave on this thing. Let's see it. Alright, so it fires tiny stream of torpedoes at it. It looks like remnants of the anti-proton in high yield format. Wow, where did he go? Single shot does next to nothing. Anyway. Obviously, this is not going to be one of those record-breaking runs. Who cares? But typical target thing. One, when you line up and you see 3 of them here, that's when you stop, you park, torp spread, aim at your center target, fire away. All those targets will get hit. You see that? Look at that. Look at that. That's how it's supposed to be right there. Pop this for good measure and fire a stream of torpedoes. See that stream of torpedoes right there? That should be doing something right there. Alright, it's doing something. Now, there you go. Now, I'm going to pop a lock and go. See how this energy torpedo fares against targets that are shielded. I yield bam, I yield spam. One, two, three, four. Oh, and my torpedoes are on cooldown. This is insane. No. Did I pop that ship already? Oh, must have. Advance course on torpedo firing metrics. Shields up. Push stream of torps down range there. Keep firing at this guy. Now the rest of these guys should have been here already, but I guess not. Ew. So I draw thread and die. Because I'm just like that. Still dealing with those two. Still. Alright, let's go. And there was a discussion on the forums about it, where 10k DPS is more than enough to be able to deal with ISA. Maybe way back in the day before Delta Rising? Sure. Not anymore. Alright, here's that torpedo, here's this torpedo, and here's my kinetic bastardized. Oh, warp core explosion rips me apart. Just complete destruction. I really am out of practice and I need to fly better. I'm just saying. Alright, so it looks like the photonic shockwave DOFs are not triggering any extra photonic shockwaves. Boo-hoo. Cry. Not good. On top of that, if they're not being boosted by EPG and control, etc., that should probably be removed from the tooltip. But we haven't tested that yet. Alright, now that I've done some dirty work for them on that, park and shoot here, and give them some real torp love. There's my mines. I'm going to blast things out of the smithereens. That's much better. Holy cow. Let's throw some of this down and then control spam. And then throw down some heavy firepower at the gateway later. Because right now it blew me up. Ah, got to move the Iconium core. That's what happens when I'm not used to. No, that was not working. Oh well. Oh, by the way, for those who are asking, that cloak that you see my ship in initially, that's from the three-piece combative set, whatever you want to call it. That's the one with the Quantum Mine, Omni, and the console. Those quantum torpedoes, makes life good. Ah, you're not going to hit me this time, buddy. Shields. I click shields first. Shields. That's not going to be good. Oh well. Just flying away. I must feed my dog now. Hey, there's a attack cube right there next to me. Let me drop a mine. Hello? Click. Drop mine. No? Alright, fine. Alright, somebody's got to kill this gateway. I was hoping... There we go. Next target. Ooh, ooh, these guys are rough. This one had no shields. Come on. As you can see, I'm not flying with any caution whatsoever. And I saw, quite frankly, don't give a damn. Where's that tack cube? Oh, he's right there. Can I drop a mine? Can I drop a mine? No, can't drop a mine still. Can I really just drop a mine? Oh, no. Holy cow, where did all these other spheres come from? Oh well, let's get rid of them. Domino console, extended duration, please, and thank you very much. Good thing about photonic shockwave versus small targets is that you can extend the... sorry, keep them ahead of you. Whoa, we got a target way out there? Okay, where's my trigger? Wow, wow, that's special. Oh well, this target's dead now. Man, I gotta clean up all this stuff. Alright, let's clean up. Clean up time. See, that photonic shockwave should have hit mine. There's no way I'm firing a salvo torpedo and I should be really close to it. Really, really close to it. No, no, there's just absolutely not. There's something wrong with that. There goes the mines. Going to blow it up. Go ahead. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. There we go. Alright. Now all the other crap is cleaned up. Let me go. They're engaging. Everything else is clear. Shield facing, mostly weak. Ooh, yes. Nah, here's what we're gonna do: spam, boost, buff, buff, drop mine, shield up, knock him out, Probability manipulation, boost that, boost this, throw it down. Somebody stole my concentrated firepower. I'm really mad now. Drop its shields. High yield 3 Delphic. Game over. That, yeah. Anyway. Just not even going to say anything about it. Just going to say good game. And that's all. So, there's that morphogenic Polaron Energy Torpedo. High yield spam is pretty much salvo torps, whereas the Nausicaan is a high yield bomb, and I think the Tetrion is also a high yield bomb. You know, I just need to throw that on there and throw it down. It's been a minute. That is that. Socknar, I'm guessing so. I did note some interesting effects off of that, but I couldn't tell you. I haven't been paying attention that much. See, there was something else I put on here that I just cannot put my finger on. Anyway, I need to clean up a lot of this stuff. Because most of this I do not need sitting here. Ordnance accelerator, blah blah blah. The riser ship, I don't even know if I'm going to get the riser ship, honestly. I don't know. 3.5 loadout. A lot of people complain that it's not the ideal fall boat. You know, and if Cryptic was trying this an experiment for a mine layer boat, they need to fix a lot of problems with laying mines in the first place before they start looking at that. And if this is the answer for beginning players to, you know, hey, deal with the swarmers that flank you constantly by throwing more aft weapons on there, I got nothing. Got nothing for you. I mean, I could throw down a turret boat and call that a day. Hey, you know, we should probably do Battlestar Galactica if Tank is awake. Let me see. Good grief. In any case. Let me see here. Blah 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 blah. No, I didn't need that. No, didn't need that for that. No, didn't need, yeah, actually could have used that for the 2-piece recharge, but whatever. There's this, which I think is a duplicate of one I have down here. No, that's something else. One of these I think I accidentally duplicated because reasons. What reasons? I have no idea. Regardless, shield, domino, quantum boost, torpedo consoles, Q. That's an extra. I got too much extra crap around here. I don't even know what to do any with anymore. Let me see here. Put that down somewhere else. What the heck are these? Yeah, when I say what the heck are these, that's a problem. I'll probably do my drain stuff here for more crit severity, which I should have done in that run if I'd known it was going to be that slow. What I really need to do is just do another run where I'm just launching a bunch of big high-yield bombs at a target and blowing them up, but that's a different story altogether. Now more than anything, it would be a great time to start chasing max 1s if you're big to that. When I say chase max 1s, these are, you launch a big heavy torpedo and you want to see the biggest hit it can do. Max 1 hit. 200 billion. Who knows? Let me see here. Derp, 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 derp. Could do a crit monster. There was something. I just need to make room here. House Martok. Do I have the disruptor? Yeah, I do. What's the House Martok buff? Wow. Now, the 3-piece off of this. A debuffing loadout would have the House Martok Torpedo. This weapon leave behind minus 20 damage resistance, debuffing the target for 6 seconds. Stack that with the Resonance Transphasic Torpedo, which would be... Where did I put you? Right here, right here. Under high yield, this drops its debuff on it. 100% chance. This one, yeah. And that is nasty. And then the Corrosive Plasma under high yield. This debuff is on it. 100% chance. 100% chance on impact of a high yield of this torpedo. Would leave the stacking... Would leave the -1 to -20 all with damage resistance. This is not as good as the others. But as time goes on, for each second it goes through, it's an increasing minus damage resistance rating on the target. Proper English, for every second that this corrosive plasma is in effect, it reduces the damage resistance rating of the target by 1. So at 20 seconds, it'll be minus 20 damage resistance rating, and then it drops off. So from first second, it's -1, second -2, and so on and so forth. But you combine this with the Resonant Transphasic, with the 3-piece House Martok, and what's the other one I had on here that'll do a nice... Oh, Delphic. Delphic. You must have the Delphic. The Delphic is just too good just too good of a debuffing torpedo right here. 100% chance on high yield. Per torpedo. This. Stacks. Same thing with the other one here in the Transphasic. Stacks. Per torpedo. Stacks. So you're single-shotting that. Or if you're concentrate firepower on a target, you're throwing this down there. Then you're throwing the House Martok on there. Then you're throwing the Corrosive Plasma on there. Even at single shot, you get one. That's great. So you have multiple debuffs that are stacking on a big target like a Gateway or a Tac Cube or the Borg Queen or the Pickle. And you are literally debuffing the hell out of your target for your teammates to come in and swoop up and get all the glory. Support Torp Boat. Specialty, debuff the heck out of your targets. And let me put this thing someplace where I can remember it. I don't need any of these things here. Quantum Mine Launcher. It's powerful, but I don't need that thing anymore. Drop this down. Take this up here. Here's Energy Row right here. Polaron. Phaser.
Hey, Odin, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, Andrew.
Thank you. Okay, so it's not my end.
Nope. Oh, by the way, I'm streaming here. If you need me to move down a channel, I can do so. What's up, Nagoop? Boom, 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 streaming here. Anyway, debuff is done. All those are done. Blah, blah, blah. I think that's...
He's having problems with the... we thought it was my end, but it must be his end. He's having problems hearing people.
Have him run Discord in admin mode, go into settings, and then disable quality of service, or uncheck the QoS on the network settings. Typically, that fixes
Okay.
it.
He had to run and step away, but when he comes back, I'll have him do that. And something is not registering. We were talking just fine last night, and now it's like not working.
Happens a lot, especially Discord with Windows 10.
Yeah. So how are you doing?
Small tutorial on STO, showing people the new energy torpedo that's on there and doing a bit of a touch-up on torpedo mechanics.
Cool.
So for folks here that are looking at this nonsense, I really need to finish this nonsense here. This, the all-weapon damage for Tier 4 magnified firepower, that looks nice. Passive, still good. Might use it. Yeah. That will most likely replace... Ooh, I did have this on here. Okay. That will most likely replace... Which one do I want it to replace? This will be a tough one because I like crit severity. Crit chance if you're not using probability manipulation. Probably replace the crit severity or the control countermeasures. Yeah, since that's passively always on versus only when I activate this. Yeah, I think I would replace control countermeasures, and that way I'll put something a bit more either offensive, like another debuff at this station here, or a heal, shield heal, or a stronger hull heal, and then drop something down here. Or I could probably do DRB, yeah, big debuff off of that. Otherwise, Subspace Vortex would be a good offensive one, especially against CCA. Tychon's Rift, if I wanted to drain targets enough. The drain component I need to test out. See if the high yield drain stacks with that energy torpedo. Yeah, too many things to test, too little time to do it because I've been busy in real life. That sort of thing. Okay. So that's there. That's something for somebody else to test out. That's already there as part of the 360 set. I could run that mission and get that other weapon there for at least a 2-piece and see what the heck that's all about. But
all right, radio check.
You are back in loud and clear.
I can hear you loud and clear. Okay, he did what you said, Odin, so it's not that. He tried 2 different devices. He tried a headset and speakers.
Now the question is, can he set his device, his audio device?
Radio check.
Loud
Hear you loud and clear.
Okay, finally.
What was it?
So apparently the default settings no longer work. I have to specifically target whatever device I'm using.
Do you run Windows 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, Odin was just saying that there's some quirks with Discord and Windows 10.
Yeah, normally I just plug in and unplug my headset to for whatever application I want to use it for. and Discord just automatically updates to whatever device I'm using. I guess now I have to go in and manually do it.
Huh.
Yep.
Well, if you get tired of Discord, we can always use TeamSpeak.
No, Discord's way too good. Way too good.
I know Discord is pretty amazing, but I mean, if we have to fall back for convenience reasons, I mean, TeamSpeak, we have a TeamSpeak, so that they're a backup server in case Discord goes down.
Excuse me. So, I'm going to load up some heavies and go into CCA and see how hard I can blast this thing. CF heavy Torp build with the shockwaves, although it probably won't do much of anything.
My God, I was in the city earlier today, and well, my definition of a city is 20,000 people, but my God, things are so much cheaper at Walmart. I was I was buying, I love Kit Kat bars, and they're usually about $2.30 for the king size bars.
Enjoy
here.
The commentary. Folks.
They're only $1.34 at Walmart and in Lewiston.
Let the shockwaves fly. And that's all she wrote. That phone call. Wait a little bit. Bam, bam, and bam. Alright, let me get the heck out of here. Nope. Form core breach delay. And race in. High yields. Wait a second. Did I still have a 3-piece in that? Oh yeah, that's right. Try Cobalt with a knock. That's just so awesome. Fly in, drop bombs, debuff target, come in with a heavy, another one, and a high yield 3, and a couple high yield 1s. I'll just watch that thing go. Where did my Tri-Cobalt go? Oh, it blew up somewhere. Wow, that was underwhelming. There's my TDD one. Where's my Tri-Cobalt? I just fired a Tri-Cobalt. Did he really get shot down again? Really?
So, does anyone know anything about surge projectors?
Yes, you want to get a good one, not a cheap one.
I bought a pretty decent, priced one off Amazon about a few years ago, and the lights are starting to die on the thing. Does that mean that the protection is going down on it? I know I'm supposed to replace them every 3 to 4 years, and I'm thinking I might have to replace them here really soon. I know it's high up. It's a way high up. I want to say it's 4,000 something, but it's something enough for a laptop and my phone to be plugged into, and then I have my router plugged into a lower one in the other room because the phone jack doesn't work in the front room. It only works in the bedroom.
Ah, we didn't see that thing there. The animation for some of these torps are changing now. Some not for the best. Sagnar suggests you get a good UPS from Cyberlink.
Okay. What is it called again? Let me write it down.
Uninterruptible power supply. If you're using that for any of your computer equipment, get one of those. It's needed.
Okay. And how often do you have to replace them?
Just the batteries on those, depending on what type you get. I don't know, 5 to 7, depending on the type of battery. While your lead ones, you can last longer.
Okay.
It's a heavy duty one though. And Seleknar, funny you mentioned that. Yes, the quantum phase torpedo, I like it with a lot of Drain X, as well as neutronic. And this Polaron torpedo will probably also fit well with a Drain build. So you're going to run the Pisia, which is a photon, neutronic, which is a quantum phase, which is a quantum, and the Polaron one, the mighty morphing Polaron torpedo, which is a Polaron torpedo with a drain component on it. There's your 4 drain torps right there. So, with that said, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back after these messages. Stay tuned.
So
Don't touch that
main
dial.
top games you play, Odin? I don't talk to you very often. We don't know each other very well, so I'm kind of going to get to know you. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I was writing a message about to take off, but I play Stowe and SOTOR, but it's more I live in a county. It's deep in the woods and in the reservation, and there's not many people, and I'm the only gay couple that are married up here. So we keep to ourselves, so we don't have any friends. So the main reason I joined this whole team speak and everything, um, uh, all this, Discord and everything, was to make friends and socialize and play games casually. And I'm not skilled like you guys are. I don't really know much about gaming. I didn't really play games growing up. I didn't play mobile games. So I really just do it for the social aspect. Yeah. Well, I gotta run, Nagu, and I got some things to do. He's my best friend, so we hang out and stuff. So we're gonna go do some things. We're still parades and 4th of July shit going on still here. So we're gonna take off for a while, but maybe we'll pop on back later tonight. But it was great, and thank you for your help. It's really appreciated. And I copied and pasted that into a notepad so that I can look up the prices and compare them and stuff like that. And yeah, thank you so much. You too.
We are back. Thank you very much for a word from our sponsors. Thank you, Saliknar. And for everybody else out there, don't get bored. Alright, let me see if I can actually pull these numbers aside. But of course, Saliknar, but of course.
Indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the one and the only, a man of the hour with so much power from the down home country of Texas. It is Mr. Nick Danger.
Thank you very much. Right, that was hot. Thanks there. Appreciate it.
Yes, sure, Mr. President, sure.
By the way, you sound like a Polish man.
Hey, we don't kink shame or racist shame around here.
People certainly do. No, just kidding.
Only if they like it. Only if they like it.
Indeed.
I'm on STO right now doing a short stream about the new Torpedo and whatnot. How you been, and how the hell you been in game?
Not bad. Just going in and go ahead and do the Horgathon or wherever that happens. It's a biathlon right now.
The biathlon?
Biathlon begins in 42 seconds. It's where you start off with a surfboard and wind up with a jetpack.
Oh, yes. That nonsense.
I do manage to win once in a while, but only once in a while.
I'm still contemplating if I even want to do the thing for the ship.
Yeah, I gotta do that too.
I mean, it's a ship, but I gotta do that nonsense.
Hey, in the beginning, you had to do it in all your tunes.
This is true. That was extremely annoying.
Now it's just the one.
So, perfect timing for you. Man on the street. How the heck do you like this new season in Victory is Life?
I have to give you full disclosure. I'm a DS9 fan. And in a lot of ways, this feels like an episode of DS9 that never played. From Quark 7 especially. But finishing up the storyline about Kira and Odo, hinting that relationship's going to continue. About Bashir actually being married to Dax, which is a hint at the very, very end. The only person that wasn't in there was Avery Brooks, and I wish he did show up for that.
Well, I mean, he's the emissary. He's got to be somewhere in the wormhole.
Yeah, and they kind of like grabbed a clip of him in the end in one of the episodes. But it still wasn't quite the same as seeing his character there, you know?
True.
But it brought a lot of closure to the series in a lot of different ways, and I thought that actually was very good. It was very well written. Especially Quark 7. That was outstanding. Actually, it was actually better than the episode it was based on, called The Magnificent Ferengi.
I remember
They
that.
really did. Yeah, they did an outstanding job on that Quark 7. Really captured it and really tied into it, too. So, I hate to sound like a fanboy, but from a storyline perspective, I think that's one of the best ones they did.
I'm going to be critical on this one here. That was the only storyline that held my interest. Everything else was kind of like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't follow suit with this. This is not what the character would do, even if they involved under these circumstances. That one, it's not only did you expect it to go that way, as a continuation from what we actually saw on TV in a DS9 episode, but it carried it to the next level, the next logical level. And it was good.
Jesus Christ, they did that so
good.
Well. I mean, Garrick's animation was fantastic and so dead on. Especially how every now and then he'd tilt his head back and look at you over his nose kind of thing, you know?
It's like, how can I squash this worm today?
Yeah, like you could actually feel him evaluating you through the screen. I mean, it's that creepy.
Do I play with it a little bit more? Can I find a use for this later? Or do I just crush it now?
That's exactly what you can actually read his expression, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially that little smile he suddenly gives you, and then it just wipes right off his face. It's like, holy crap. I guess my take on it is a lot of the characters that signed up to voice it, I have a funny feeling they actually had a little bit of a say in terms of how the characters were acting and what they were saying. Especially Andrew Robinson. And here's the kicker. I mean, different races have different results in some of the conversations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jem Hadar has one thing, and then if you're Federation, you have something else. And I haven't played a Klingon tune yet, but I suspect that's going to be different too.
Good to know.
I'm very about it. I think the missions were good. I think once you figure out that the Hork are actually, whatever you call it, are actually vulnerable to fire, that makes a big difference in your game playing style too. Perk, sorry. But just the sheer amounts of perk coming towards you and every now and then paralyzing everybody in your away team and so on. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's challenging. It takes your breath and in terms of, all these things coming at you relentlessly, I mean, you're going to win, yeah, okay, you die, you regenerate and off you go again, but still, I thought they did a great job. I know it's not a popular, point around here sometimes, but, because some people say I'm an STO fanboy, overall. There's some things I like and some things I don't like, but I was fist pumping after I finished Quark 7. I was like, that is exactly how I imagined a Ferengi adventure to actually work, and they put it in a game, which was amazing.
And having an opinion, a positive opinion or negative opinion of something, well, a specific something, does not necessarily mean that you dislike the entire package overall. And say, hey, look, this is where we have our expectations of a good product or service. Here's where it met or exceeded it. Here's where it didn't meet expectations. And here's where it should have been, you know, great, but it didn't. It fell way short, or it fell just barely short. So having that type of opinion is not a fanboy thing to say. If it's good and here are the reasons why, it's good. If it's not good, here are the reasons why it's not good. It's not good to you. Some people may like that. Some people may just want a basic story. Some people may want over the top, whereas other people won't. We get that.
Yep.
But from our standpoint, where we're very critical about stories and how the characters would act and react in these situations, how the episode and the gameplay was put together overall, not only just telling the story but letting you play along as each of them, it was well done. That is the expectation that we have as players for this game. And for the times where it's not met, we are disappointed because we know you can meet that.
No, I agree. But I did enjoy like how to put it. Like if you look at the episode, the Magnificent Ferengi, Lek is always playing with a knife, and it wasn't until the last like 10 minutes of the show where he actually used one. He threw it into the chest of a Jem'Hadar, and yet all of a sudden inside the game you've got Lek's throwing knives, which is kind of cool
and slightly OP, but still cool. Oh, I should probably upgrade it to Mark 15 while I'm at it. And I think I was using that Mark 14 is doing some decent damage. There, that's better. I know I don't gold plate my ground gear. I don't go on the ground much.
Only my main tune has got gold gear. Everyone else is mainly rare, very rare. Can't afford to do anything else.
Yeah, you can. You're Nick Danger.
Well, not without my wife saying, "Why are you spending all that money on a game? It'll disappear someday." Then I have no good answer because I did that in Star Wars. I did it in SWG. She's still pissed at me for spending all that time on a game that eventually disappeared.
Alright, we're going to attempt to save this loadout again one more time. And I hope it's not corrupted. I'm reading to test out chemo again. Because when I had him beforehand and it was random whenever he shoots out whenever he actually procs on a Tricobalt firing cycle, I saw this Tricobalt move faster than the Kelvin Torpedo and I was laughing my head off. Alright, where the heck is an emergency con hologram? Is it here? Kilel, best PvP buff DOF ever. SOB linked me to that one. Let me see. It's probably not ops. Definitely wasn't science. Where the heck did I have that? Is it the con officer? No, it would have been up here. Sagnar's rich, folks. He's rich.
Yeah, what?
This dude, Salaknar, who streams every once in a while on STO, he's a little bit rich. So if you want to hit him up with anything from the Phoenix prize pack, go right ahead. I'm trying to remember where the is it an emergency con officer? Oh, it was there. Okay, fine. Alright, let me see if I could chase a max 1 at an ISA and then hold a stream on this one.
Chase a who and where?
ISA, I'm going to chase a max 1 hit.
Got it. Good luck. Force be with you.
May the force be with me, he says.
Yeah, I'm a bastard.
Yes, sir. Yes, you are. But you're right, bastard. So it's okay.
It's all good.
Alright, for max 1 chasing, counter command deflector, boost cap 1 damage. Load up with this Torp and this Torp, the 1 and 2 and the heavy hitters. Now, do I want to keep boosting cat 1? I don't need the 3-piece of this, so I could probably... No, I need the console? No, I don't need the console. Here's the funny thing. The console's not needed for max 1 because these suckers fly slow anyway. But I still keep it. So, if I don't need the console, then I can stuff some more stuff in here, like say this. And I don't need that, so I can stuff some more stuff in here like that. Or I could boost the chronoton damage by making this 2-piece kick in. So 1.4 baseline. So if I'm going max 1 with a TDD, I definitely want to kick this one in first. That will take precedence over this. I don't need the 3-piece out of this because I'm not buffing quantums. So yeah, you can come back in here on this.
I have to say one more thing. DS9, the way they revamped it is great.
Agreed.
A little small, but still great. It feels like the show.
These are good for an armor penetration build, the Xenotech Drift modules. I don't know if you ever used them from the research, not research, K7 facility. They're pretty epic. When you're stacking a lot of hull pen, they're pretty epic. Right. I could stack more than that. Let me see here. 9.4 critical severity. I could do 12. Then I start trading off. Domino. I need that for the buff. Bonus all damage. And that's a bonus damage. Yeah, so I can start chasing that. 25 projectile damage. This is going to be a tough one. Do I stuff that in there or not? Some multiplier. Some good multiplier. But... no, come to think about it, with these consoles, they don't scale to Mark 15. They're just there. That's it. So they kind of lose out because everything else is built around Mark 14. So a console like this and this, I mean, do they get adjusted to Mark 15 level eventually?
We'll admit there's one bad thing about the expansion.
Station's too small?
Well, I love Nana Visitor's voice acting, but I get a distinct feeling when you run through the entire 6 episodes that Kira Nerys friend-zoned me.
Lol.
Definitely get that feeling.
Doesn't make sense, though, for her to go from Kai to an officer in Starfleet.
Well, according to the book series, she actually had become a Starfleet commander. Actually, commanded Deep Space Nine before she became a Kai. So she actually was reverting back to her previous rank. There's a lot that actually is in the book series that you have to know to catch some of the internal stuff. One, that she was already a captain. Two, that Dax had actually become the captain of the Aventine. If you know that, then those points, like, Bashir saying, my wife is the captain of the Aventine, well, anyone who's read the books knows that he married Dax. In the end, anyway. Of course, the book actually had Ro Laren coming back and being the ops officer of DS9 too, so...
Alright, for those at home who are watching this, yeah, this is the nonsense I have to deal with in trying to rebuild the Maxwell ship. Come again?
No Proteus.
He should be back. Still need to test standoff to see if it's still bugged or not. Sad. That might be needed. Dual Tetrions, derp. Where's the disruptor that I had around here? Oh, they still count as an Omni. Boo! Ancient Omni or two-piece or something else. Or do I stick an F Torpedo and call it a day? Stuff you try to figure out when you're building other stuff. Alright, 180 firing arc, that'll help out some. This can't be right. You can actually re-engineer the energy torps, but not the others?
I do not know, Sahib.
Oh, that's lame. Hold on. Nausicaan one can't be re-engineered. The Tetrion one cannot be re-engineered. The Phaser one can. The Polaron one can. Fascinating. Ten, 174, max damage, blah blah blah. Yeah, I think just because I need enough crit D. Gonna pound on the crit hit. Bonus damages will probably nail that out as well. That'll give me baseline. I should add a little bit more baseline. Because those will be multipliers versus just this being a crit severity one there. Nah, yeah. So I have plenty of that. So I have multipliers at the yin yang. So I'm gonna increase my max, my base damage here up. Yeah, and then so the final multiplier will start multiplying against that number. No, I remember Jay's equation. Jay wrote down something, and I need to put it up on a link somewhere here on the spreadsheet, where for the damage range on the weapon, comparing this console versus, say, for example, this one here, they're about equivalent. up to a certain damage range. And once it hits this absurd number, then the Cat 1 boost will become much more beneficial than the crit severity, so long as you have sufficient crit severity, or you have other sources to be able to boost Cat 2 or higher. In this case, this one and this one. So I may want to, yeah, increase the range there. So that's probably a slight drop, but I'm only caring about the big ones that I go after. Yep, that should do it. Let's go with it. CCA and ISA. Run comparison on the hits. Thank you, Saliknar, for that. He's just said that all the new gear can be re-engineered, and then eventually some of the old ones can also be re-engineered. I guess they have to go back through the tables and clean it up.
Yep.
Another big boost. So if I pop all my good stuff right, 1, 2, 3, and then just drop nukes at the gateway, it should be game over. So I'll save that for the gateway. And other than that, just go with this. Normal, spam, no debuffs, no boosts. Just go to town. Climb high, big approach, dropping nukes. I forgot the core. I swapped the core. I swapped the core. Is that old bug back again? Where if you're close to the entity, you don't take damage. I think one of the old bugs are back, where if you're really close to the entity, you don't take shockwave damage. That would be silly. Good night, Saliknar. Thanks for showing up. Oh. A recluse, too. That might hurt a little. Alright, let's get the heck out of here. Last run for the night, folks, and then we're gonna call it here. As usual, be sure to see Zeph Films. This new line of ship videos. Gotta love them. Got to love them. Salknar will be doing his streams when he's available on the weekends. Ugly rumor has it that STO Tech Trek will be making its return. And another ugly rumor that SOP is actually going to be using Torps more often than not. Yes, SOB using Torps. Believe that. And then we have the ship moving along. Holy cow, I said everything in the kitchen sink, but I didn't mean everything and the kitchen sink. It wouldn't leave me alone. Completely ignored all his fears, but I guess proximity threat trumps weapon threat. I have lost my touch. Let's see what we got here. A not so good max 1 of 490. Boo.
What's that?
Max 1 hit 490. Just wasn't lining up right.
490,000?
Yeah, that's pretty average.
Yes. When
on a good average, I'm typically in the 700s.
Wow. That's amazing.
No, amazing was I was just shy of $1 million. And that was prior to this season. So theoretically, I should be able to hit over $1 million max 1 hitter with a Torp.
Right, I got a tier 7 destroyer going up against tier 9 cruisers and battleships.
Oh, warships.
Yeah, this is going to suck.
You got this.
As long as I don't go off and do things on my own, I'll be okay.
We need to get a squad together, man, and just play again. All right, folks, we're going to call it here. We'll say everybody have a good night. Thanks for watching. Blah, blah, blah. See yous and have fun. Bye-bye now.